In today's Leeds news, Kristensen exit confirmed, Farke positive Darlow comments, Bogle closing in on record, end of season's award nominations, and Gruev linked to Bundesliga return. Morning folks, welcome back to The View for Thursday the 17th of April with your Leeds United news. Last day in the remote locations, so excuse the lighting. Back to normal tomorrow, so we'll crack on today anyway. There's a bit of stuff to get stuck into, not an awful lot, some clarity on some information, as well as some good stuff to look forward to towards the end of the season should everything go our way. But we will start today with the inevitable news that we knew was coming, and we were just waiting on the announcement of Rasmus Christensen's exit from the club. We knew it was coming for several months after a report a few months ago claimed that Eintracht Frankfurt were keen to renegotiate the terms of the loan option buy and bring Kristensen into their club on a permanent deal. But Leeds United have now confirmed the permanent exit of Rasmus Christensen from the club to Eintracht Frankfurt. Leeds will make an accounting profit on this sale due to the remaining time on the contract versus the payments that are outstanding for him versus this fee coming in. And Leeds are said to have agreed an initial upfront payment of £5 million for the player to exit the club. The club, however, believes and are confident that the add-ons that they have added into this contract will be achieved and therefore would bring the fee that Leeds will receive up to £7.7 million. Christensen's had 2 years remaining on his contract at Leeds United, but truth be told, I don't think any of us thought it was ever likely that he would return to the club after a pretty underwhelming first season in the Premier League, and then his outright refusal to return to the club last season and again this season basically meant any chance of a future at Leeds United was slim to none for Christensen. A very short, brief statement from Leeds United backs up the sentiment towards the club around not just him, but the loan exit clause players who pushed moves away from the club. So Rasmus Christensen's time at Leeds United is over, and we all move on. Let's talk about Daniel Farke's comments on Karl Darlow's performances in recent weeks. And Karl Darlow, so far, has been a very assured presence in the Leeds goal since replacing Illan Meslier, and Darlow did come into the team with some significant amount of pressure on him given Illan Meslier's mistakes and issues this season. Leeds manager Daniel Farke appears to be very happy with Karl Darlow so far and feels the Welsh number one has bred confidence into the rest of the Leeds United side. Speaking on the goalkeeper, Daniel Farke said the following: "First of all, I'm pretty happy and delighted for Karl because he deserves it. He's such a loyal servant for this club since he walked in. The longer he is with us, the more impressive he is in training. Karl is a very experienced and cool, calm goalkeeper, very reliable. But it's still not that easy for a goalkeeper when you're not really in your rhythm because in the league, he has not played many games before. For that, I wasn't nervous. I was convinced that he could deliver. But of course, you are hoping for a bit of luck in the first situations in the first few games." Farke added that he has been delighted with Darlow so far and complimented him on staying alert, focused and ready for his opportunity when it arrived late this season. "Delighted for Karl Darlow and what he's done. He has very much been a calming presence for me, catching the balls being the main thing and just taking the sting out of attacks against Leeds in recent games. Still games to go. There's still football to be played this season, so let's hope that form from Darlow remains between now and the rest of the season as we move on. Let's talk about Jayden Bogle and a potential record-breaking season for him. And this season, there have been many club records that have fallen by the wayside. And as we approach the season's end, a few more could still fall away. Jayden Bogle has had a fine season for Leeds this year and could be up there with one of the signings of the season, given his impact on the club since he's come in. But some data shared by our very own Andrew Stats Dalton today has Bogle in very, very good company and a record that might just be broken before the season wraps up. Bogle has scored 6 goals this season from the right-back position and is the first Leeds United right-back to score 6 goals in a season since Mel Sterling did it in the 1991-1992 season, the season the Leeds United won the title. 1 more goal for Bogle and he will become the first right back to net 7 goals in a single campaign for Leeds United in 45 years. The last right back to do so was Kevin Hind in the 1979-1980 season when he scored 8. Jayden Bogle's averaging a goal every 6.6 games so far, so he could be running out of games for this, but there are still 4 games to go and Jayden Bogle is sitting on 6. 1 more goal would be a modern record. 2 more for him would get him over the line or at least tie him with Kevin Hind, and that'd be a great achievement for him to get this season. He's been really good considering how Sheffield United have gone on with Jamie Shackleton at right back versus how Leeds have gotten on with taking Sheffield United's Jade Bogle. I think we all can gather that Leeds got the better of the deal there, and Sheffield United are probably really disappointed that he ended up where he is this year. Let's move on. Let's talk about the inevitable end of season award nominations, and the nominees for the EFL end of season awards have been announced. And as you can imagine, they're pretty much dominated by the top three sides. First of all, Leeds United's winger Daniel James has been nominated for the Player of the Year award, and he has been nominated against two other players. Burnley's James Trafford is hoping to be the first goalkeeper since 2006 to pick up the Player of the Year award, and Sheffield United's Gus Hamer has also been nominated for the award this season. Moving on to the manager awards, and considering Leeds United's position in the league so far this season, it's no surprise that Daniel Farke has been nominated for this year alongside three other candidates: Sheffield United's Chris Wilder, Burnley's Scott Parker, and Sunderland's Regis Lebris. Leeds' final position this season will likely have an impact in who picks up those awards. Surprising there's no Joe Rodon, out Tanaka getting in there for Leeds. They only decided to go with three players in the Player of the Year award, while they've gone with four people in the Manager of the Year bracket. So an unusual enough looking one, but Leeds represented in both of them. We'll see how we get on. Obviously, the goalkeeper of the year, or at least the Golden Glove award this year, will go to James Trafford at Burnley this year. Moving on to the final story of the day, pretty short one today, and this one relates to the future of Ilya Gruev, or at least the rumoured future of Ilya Gruev this season. Gruev's future is being discussed over the last few days in the Leeds United back pages, and Leeds' divisional status is said to be a key factor in what will happen with the player next season. Gruev is said to be very settled in Leeds and happy as being part of the current Leeds United setup. But Leeds did bring a relatively unknown Gruev into the club last season, and he had a fantastic first season for the club. And he's had a pretty good season this year, despite the fact that he was out for a very long time with an injury. And he's come back into the team in recent weeks. And I personally think he's been a very solid addition in the middle of the park during that little bit of a wobble that we were having. He's added a bit more defensive steel in there. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but I quite like him. But according to Team Talk, they say that there is significant interest from abroad in bringing Ilya Gruev over there. But his plan is to stay at Leeds United, and Leeds currently are said to be very happy with the player as well. His current deal at the club runs until 2027. The report goes on to say that several clubs approached Leeds United last summer for the player, but the club and player had no interest in the move at that point. He was quite settled and had something to achieve here with Leeds, and Leeds obviously wanted to chase promotion, the reason he was brought in to help them achieve that in the first place. But the report says that those interested parties are said to be circling again this year, and if Leeds don't get promoted to the Premier League, like every player in the Leeds United squad this year, are likely to be picked off by other teams should they not get over the line. As I say, he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I quite like Ilya Gruev. I like him as an out-and-out pure defensive midfielder, and I think he adds a lot of clever defensive cover in there for maybe not the most progressive player that we have in the squad, but I never really feel that that's his job. His job is to break up the play and keeping the ball simple and start moves for Leeds, and I think he does that relatively well for us, especially in the Championship this season. But it'll be interesting to see what happens to him at the end of the season. Interesting to see what happens with a lot of the Leeds United fringe players who are in and out of the team this year if Leeds get promoted to the Premier League, and then what happens if we stay in the Championship, the worst case scenario. But let's hope that doesn't happen this time round, and we should, I think, hopefully have enough if we can get past Oxford on Friday night. And then we've got obviously the game on Monday, and then we'll see where we are going into next weekend. We could be celebrating in a week's time. We'll have to wait and see, folks. That will be it for me today. A massive thank you as always for supporting the channel and putting up with me on the road over the last few days. But as I say, back to normal surroundings tomorrow for the news, and we will have a preview to the game out as well tomorrow night. So keep an eye out for that as well. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.